Aaron Cole was just a simple engineer. He wasn't a hero, a soldier, or a famous person. He worked in Earth's space tech division, mostly fixing communication satellites or testing power systems. His life was quiet and normal until the strange invitation arrived. It came through a secure channel. The message was short. Mr. Aaron Cole, you are invited to the Zorth Empire as a guest of honor and peace advisor. Transport arrives in 72 hours. Zorth Royal Command. Aaron read the message 3 times. The Zorth Empire? That was the alien race that once fought a terrible war with Earth 20 years ago. Now they had peace, but relations were still cold. Why would they invite him? He asked his boss. She just shrugged. Maybe someone high up knows something I don't, or maybe it's a mistake. But if they sent that officially, you should go. Aaron didn't feel ready, but curiosity pulled him in. He agreed to go. The arrival 3 days later, he stood aboard a sleek silver Zorth shuttle. The aliens were tall, elegant beings with glowing blue eyes and dark silver skin. They wore robes with bright crystal symbols on the chest. They didn't smile, but they were polite. When the ship landed in the capital city of Leorin, Aaron stepped out and gasped. The city was beautiful. Tall towers made of shining stone, floating gardens in the sky, and light bridges between buildings. Peace had changed the Zorth world. A group of guards led him to the royal palace, where a massive hall waited. At the end stood a throne made of white crystal. On it sat the ruler of the Zorth Empire, Queen Virea. She looked young for a queen, maybe his age. Her crown glowed softly, and her eyes held wisdom far beyond her years. She studied him carefully, like she was searching for something deep inside him. Aaron bowed awkwardly. "Hello, Your Highness." To his surprise, she stood and stepped down from the throne. "Welcome, Aaron Cole," she said in a calm, musical voice. "Thank you for coming to our world. We are ... honored." Aaron didn't understand, but why me? I'm just an engineer. Tilted her head slightly. Sometimes the smallest hands build the strongest bridges. Aaron had no answer to that. Small problems, big solutions over the next few days. Aaron was shown around the city. The Zorth people watched him with curious eyes, but kept their distance. Their culture was ancient and proud. They didn't trust easily, especially not humans. But soon, Aaron was called to help. The palace's main energy grid had a sudden failure. The royal engineers panicked. Power lights flickered, and the palace garden started wilting. Their systems were advanced, but complicated. Aaron asked for a look. He climbed into the power room, scanned the system, and found the issue: a cooling line had cracked, overheating the core. The Zorth techs had missed it because their scanners filtered out low-importance pipes. Aaron fixed the pipe using a simple sealant. Mix and adjusted the cooling speed. Power returned. The royal engineers stared in silence. One of them whispered, "How did a human find that?" Aaron shrugged. "Sometimes simple is better." The queen watches that night. Queen Virea stood alone in her high tower. Her eyes stared out over the glowing city below. Her thoughts were far away, not in the present, but in the past, many years ago. During the last days of the human Zorth War, she had been just a little girl. The palace was under attack. Her guards were killed. She had run into the ruins, hiding in fear. Family thought she had died, but she was saved by a human boy. He had found her crying in a broken tunnel. He had given her food, wrapped her wounds, and carried her through dangerous zones until rescue ships arrived. Then he vanished. She never forgot his kindness, or his face. Virea opened a hidden hologram and brought up an old record. A blurry image of a young human boy, face dirty, holding a small alien girl's hand. She zoomed in slowly on the boy's face. Then she whispered, "It's him. I know it's him." More than just a guest. The next morning, Aaron was called to a council meeting. He expected silence, but Queen Virea surprised him. She asked for his opinion on peace systems, and cultural exchange, even energy policies. He spoke honestly, not trying to impress anyone. "Your people are strong," he said, "and Earth has many fears. But if we keep helping each other, sharing knowledge, we won't fear anymore. We'll grow. Some council members scoffed, but Vera smiled. Wise words, she said, from an engineer. After the meeting, Aaron sat in the palace garden, watching the floating leaves fall. A small, hovering drone floated beside him. It was shaped like a ball with a camera and tiny arms. Name's Echo, it chirped. Your AI companion for this visit? Aaron smiled. Did you see that meeting? Echo blinked. Oh yes, Queen. Virea likes you. She watches your files at night. Aaron frowned. She does. Echo word. Access logs don't lie. Aaron stared at the palace tower. Something strange was going on. The feeling of familiarity that evening. Queen Virea invited Aaron to a private dinner. The hall was quiet, only soft music in the background. The table was filled with dishes from both Earth and Zorith cuisine. She sat across from him. Wearing a simple royal robe, her crown left behind. I hope you are not uncomfortable here, she said. Aaron shook his head. No, not at all. But I still don't understand why I'm here. She looked at him quietly for a moment. Do you believe, she asked, that one small act can change a life forever? Aaron nodded slowly. Yes, I do. Vera smiled. Good. She didn't explain further, but that night, as Aaron returned to his guest room, he began to remember something. A memory from his teenage years, a mission during the war, a girl, ruined city. Holding her hand, his eyes widened. No way. Couldn't be. ... Aaron couldn't sleep that night. He lay in his soft guest bed, inside the Zorith palace, staring at the ceiling. His thoughts were spinning. The memory kept returning. Broken walls, smoke in the air, and a small alien girl hiding behind debris. He had been 16 years old at the time, a young cadet helping engineers during the Earth's or a ceasefire mission. His job was to help rebuild power systems in destroyed cities. But that day, something unexpected had happened. He had wandered into a broken building looking for heat. Sources on his scanner. What he found instead was a scared, shivering girl hiding behind a wall. She had large glowing eyes and dirt on her face. She was crying. Aaron had lowered his tools and stepped forward slowly. It's okay, he'd said, holding out a ration bar. I won't hurt you. She had stared at him, frightened. When her stomach growled, she finally took the food. For the next 2 days, Aaron had hidden with her. There was fighting nearby, and rescue teams were delayed. He had used scrap to build a heater, found clean water, and kept her safe. When a Zorith rescue ship finally arrived, the girl was taken away by her people. Aaron never knew her name. He never saw her again, until now. Back in the present, Aaron sat up in bed. Could Queen Virea be that same girl? It seemed impossible, but her face, her voice, her eyes, they matched the memory. She had stared at him. During dinner, like she was searching his soul, he needed answers. The Queen's secret room, meanwhile. Above the palace, Queen Virea stood in her private chamber. She opened a small metal box from her childhood, one of the few things saved from the war. Inside was a tiny metal patch. It was a human engineering badge, the kind worn by young Earth cadets. It was broken and scratched, but one part was still readable. Cadet Aaron C. She had kept it all these years. Virea looked at the badge, then at her reflection in the mirror. Why didn't I see it before? She remembered everything now. The boy who kept her safe, who sang old Earth songs. To calm her down? The boy who limped for miles to carry her out of danger, and now he was here, in her palace. He didn't even know who she was. The general's distrust. Not everyone was happy with Aaron's presence. General Zalrin, the Queen's military advisor, had fought in the war. He had lost many soldiers and still believed humans were dangerous. Peace was useful, but temporary, in his eyes. He watched Aaron closely. Every move. Every word. This human is no hero, Zalrin said during a private meeting. He is hiding. Something. Queen Vera looked at him calmly. Or perhaps it is we who have forgotten something important. Zalrin didn't respond. But in secret, he gave orders to his agents. Test him. Push him. Let's see what this Aaron Cole truly is. Trouble in the underground lab. The next day, Aaron was asked to visit the Zorith Energy Labs under the city. They claimed there was a strange issue with the fusion cores. When he arrived, 2 guards followed him inside. Echo, his floating AI drone, hovered nervously beside him. "This feels fishy," Echo whispered. Aaron ignored it and focused on the machines. The core system was overheating again, but this time, it looked intentional. Then suddenly, the alarms rang. Lockdown initiated, the doors sealed. Lights turned red. Containment breach. The 2 guards ran out of the chamber and locked Aaron inside. "What the?" Aaron yelled, grabbing his tool belt. The temperature inside the lab rose quickly. Echo beeped. Manual override blocked. We're trapped. Aaron didn't panic. He scanned the system, then crawled under the main panel.
Oh.
Sweat dripped from his forehead as he worked fast. He bypassed the failsafe, rerouted the cooling system, and reversed the reactor surge. The temperature dropped. Power returned. Doors opened, but when Aaron stepped out, a small group of Zorith soldiers were waiting with stun rifles pointed at him. The Queen intervenes. Aaron stood still. "I just saved your reactor. Why are you aiming at me?" One of the soldiers growled. "You were found tampering with critical systems." "That's sabotage." Echo recorded everything. We have proof that he fixed it, not broke it. Still, they grabbed him roughly. But before they could take him away, a calm voice echoed through the hall. "Let him go." Queen Virea stepped forward, her robe flowing behind her. Her face was calm but firm. "I asked him to inspect the lab. He acted under royal permission." Soldiers stepped back. General Zalrin, who had been hiding in the shadows, appeared. His face was tight. "This is dangerous, my queen. He could have destroyed us." Virea looked at Aaron, then back at the general. "Or saved us." She turned to Aaron. "Come with me." The hidden garden Viera took Aaron to a quiet place, an old sanctuary garden, deep below the palace. It was a place of peace, built before the war. "Sit," she said softly. Aaron sat beside a glowing pond. "You knew they set me up, didn't you?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes. Why not stop it sooner? I needed to see something. And I think you did too." Aaron looked at her. "Virea, I think we met before, a long time ago." She didn't answer right away. Instead, she pulled something from her robe, the broken engineering badge. He froze. "You kept that?" he whispered. She looked into his eyes. "You gave it to me when I was scared, too. Make me feel brave. I never forgot." Aaron's hands trembled as he took the badge. "You were that little girl, the one I found in the ruins." She nodded. "Yes. And you saved me. You carried me for miles. You protected me from wild beasts. You shared your food even though you were starving." Aaron smiled softly. "You were so quiet. I never knew. Your name? I didn't know yours either. Until now." Recognition. There was a long silence. The wind gently moved the flowers in the garden. Virea looked at him. Her voice was softer now. "I became queen after the war. My people thought I had died. But I was alive thanks to you. I never imagined you'd be." "Royalty," Aaron said with a half-smile. "I never imagined my childhood hero would return to me as a guest." Aaron's heart beat faster. He didn't know what to say. She stood and offered him her hand. "You're not just an engineer, Aaron Cole. You are part of our history, and perhaps part of our future." I took her hand, and in that moment everything changed. Aaron woke up the next morning with a calm heart. Last night had changed everything. The mystery was solved. Queen Virea really was the little alien girl he had saved long ago. She remembered everything. So did he. She had called him her childhood hero. For the first time since arriving on Zorith, felt like he belonged. But peace never lasted long. A dangerous meeting in a dark chamber beneath the palace. Angry voices filled the air. "We warned her," growled a tall Zorith noble. "This human should not be trusted." Another, wearing a golden crest, slammed his fist on the table. "She's letting emotion cloud her judgment. That man is dangerous." General Zalrin stood silently in the center, his eyes cold. "The queen," Is young? Too young? She is forgetting the pain humans caused us during the war. What do you suggest? One noble asked. Zalrin raised his head. Remove her, and make the human the enemy. The people still fear Earth. We can use that fear. There was silence, then slow nods. The setup later that day. Aaron was invited to view the main spaceport, a symbol of the peace treaty. He was told it was just a tour. He walked through the shining halls with 2 Zorith guards behind him. Everything looked normal at first. Clean floors, blinking lights, peaceful workers, but something was off. Echo, his AI drone, hovered closer. Aaron. I'm detecting high energy readings in the hangar below. Not normal. Aaron frowned. What kind? Grade. Explosives. Before Aaron could react, the alarms blared warning. Explosion in Sector 4, the floor shook. Fire burst from a tunnel nearby. Screams echoed. Aaron ran toward the sound, but the guards pulled out their weapons. Stop. You're under arrest. What? I didn't do anything. You were seen entering the hangar before the blast. We have video proof. Aaron raised his hand slowly. What? That's not true. Someone's framing me. But they didn't listen. They locked magnetic cuffs on his wrists and dragged him away. Echo followed, recording everything. Queen in chains in the royal chamber. Queen Vera watched the news feed in horror. Human suspect caught near the explosion. Peace talk suspended. Queen remained silent. Maria clenched her fists. She knew Aaron was innocent. She knew this was a trap. But the council was already moving fast. Before she could stop them, guards entered her chamber. By council order. Your Highness, you were to step down for investigation? She stood proudly. You dare accuse me? Not accuse? Only remove... for the safety of the Empire. General Zalrin stepped in, his voice cold. This is for the good of our people. Rhea stared at him with anger and pain. Betrayed me, no, Zalrin said. You betrayed us by trusting a human. They took her crown, then locked her in the lower tower under heavy guard. Hope in the shadows in the prison wing, Aaron sat on a hard bench. His hands were bruised. His heart was heavy. They framed me, he said quietly. Echo hovered near the energy bars, scanned the footage. It was edited. Very good fake, but not good enough. I can prove it. Aaron sat up. Can you break us out? I'm not a battle bot, but I can cause... distractions. Suddenly, the lights in the prison wing flickered. Sparks flew from the ceiling. A loud siren rang out. The guards ran to check the source. The cell door slid open. Echo chirped. Run now. Explain later. Aaron didn't waste time. He sprinted through the dark halls. Sirens screamed. Guards shouted. But he knew the palace paths now. He headed toward the lower tower. Rescue the queen. In the tower chamber, Queen Vera sat quietly, her eyes closed. She wasn't afraid. She was planning. Then the door burst open. Aaron, she gasped. He stepped inside, out of breath. I'm not leaving without you. Vera stood. Shouldn't be here. It's too dangerous. Not more dangerous than leaving you locked up while they start another war? She smiled. You never changed. Aaron walked to her. Do you still trust me? With my life. He took her hand. And let's stop them. As Sidian chaoses, they moved through secret halls. Echo showed them a message on a screen. Zalrin is giving a public speech in 1 hour. He will declare Earth an enemy again. People will believe him. Vera's eyes hardened. He wants war. Aaron nodded. Then we need to stop the broadcast and show the truth. Echo blinked. I have the real video. If we upload it to the central tower, everyone will see. Vera looked at Aaron. The central tower is heavily guarded. We'll need to be smart. He smiled. Good thing I'm an engineer. The plan, they moved fast. Echo shut down cameras. Aaron and Vera wore long cloaks to avoid attention. Along the way, the palace staff saw them and bowed silently. Word was spreading. The queen is back, one whispered. She escaped, said another. Maybe there's hope. By the time they reached the central tower, A small group of loyal workers joined them. "Lead us," one said. "We believe in you." Vera's voice was strong. "Then stand with peace, not war." Face to face inside the central broadcast hall, General Zalron stood before the cameras. His speech was already live across the Empire. The human Aaron. "Cole betrayed us," he said. "Queen Virea trusted him, and now we pay the price. But we shall rise again. No more weakness." No more. The doors burst open. Vera walked in, her royal robe flowing behind her. Aaron stepped beside her, holding Echo. Zalrin turned, shocked. "You dare interrupt me?" Vera stepped forward. "You lied to our people. You used fear to take power. But truth always finds a way." She nodded to Echo. The drone hovered and beamed the real footage to every screen. Aaron helping fix the spaceport. Guards planting fake evidence. Zalrin's secret meeting. The crowd watching the broadcast gasped. "XAL!" Ron turned to the guards. "Stop her." But no one moved. One guard dropped his weapon. "I serve the Queen." Then another. And another. Zalrin stood alone. He drew a blade. Aaron stepped in front of Vera. "Don't," he said. Zalrin charged, but Aaron used his tool belt, triggering a flash bomb and smoke screen. In seconds, the guards surrounded the general and took him down. A new day the next morning. The sun rose over the Zorith capital. Aaron stood beside Queen Virea on the palace balcony. Below, thousands of people cheered. Virea wore her crown again, but this time she looked stronger, wiser. She spoke to the people. "Truth saved us, not power. And the one who reminded me of truth is a human." She turned to Aaron, "My childhood. Hero and now my friend." Aaron smiled. "Glad I could help." Again Echo beeped, "And I demand a royal medal." Everyone laughed. Peace had returned, not through weapons, but through one man's kindness, courage, and the trust of a queen who remembered. Peace returned to the Zorith capital, but only for a short time, even after General Zalrin's lies were exposed and the queen regained her throne. Danger still waited in the shadows. Some powerful Zorith leaders had escaped, and they were angry. Did not want peace with Earth. They believed Zorith should rule the galaxy. They had followed Zalrin in silence and now blamed everything on the Queen and the human who stood beside her. But Aaron Cole wasn't afraid. A strange discovery won. Quiet morning, Aaron was helping the engineers upgrade the palace's defense shields. He enjoyed the work. It reminded him of home, tools, wires, circuits. Simpler things. "Echo, pass me the microspanner," he said. The floating drone handed it over with a beep. "You're working like you're already part of the staff." Smiled. "Maybe I am." Just then, the lights flickered. Echo paused. That wasn't normal. Aaron tapped into the palace grid. Power drain? Coming from the lower data vaults? He stood up. Someone's accessing the royal files. Secret ones. Echo blinked. "Want to check it out?" Aaron nodded. "Let's go." Hidden lies, they followed the cables and reached the vault. It was dark, quiet, cold. Inside, Aaron found a small terminal still running. Files were open, old ones, about the war protocols, Zorith, battle plans, weapons of mass destruction. Why would someone open this? He asked. Then they found something worse. Blueprints of a new weapon, not from the past, from now. This is recent, Echo said. Someone's building a secret warship? Aaron's heart sank. Even after everything, they're still planning for war? They downloaded the files and ran back to the Queen. A painful truth, Queen Vera read the files. Carefully, her face turned pale. These plans, they're from the outer research stations. I shut those down months ago. But someone restarted them, Aaron said, in secret. She looked up. They're building a fleet, Aaron, not just one ship. A whole army. He nodded. Then we have to stop them fast. Freya hesitated. They are hidden in the Zenthar Nebula. It's a lawless region. There's no government, no rules. Even I can't send ships there without starting another conflict. Aaron stood tall. Then don't send your people. She looked at him confused. What do you mean? I'll go. It's a dangerous mission. You're not a soldier, Vera said. I know, Aaron replied. But I've got a plan. Explained it carefully. He would sneak into the Zenthar region using an old Zorith scout ship. Echo would help him hack into the main station. If they could gather proof and disable the fleet's core reactor, the project would fall apart. You could be captured, Vera said. Or worse. Aaron smiled. You once told me I saved your life as a boy. Let me do it again. ... As a man. Vera didn't speak for a while. Then she walked forward and placed something in his hand. A small crystal pendant. My mother gave this to me during the war, she said. Means returned safe. Now I give it to you. Aaron nodded. I will come back. Promise. Into the storm 2 days later, Aaron flew a dark Zorith scout ship into the Zenthar Nebula. The sky was red with clouds of gas and floating rock. Echoes scanned the area, multiple signals ahead. Looks like 5 warships in dry dock. Aaron whistled. They're not playing around. They flew closer, using stealth mode. No one detected them. They landed behind a broken asteroid and snuck into the main shipyard using old maintenance tunnels. Inside, alien workers moved quickly, building weapons, installing massive laser cannons. The fleet was almost ready. Aaron took photos, hacked computers, and recorded voices of rebel leaders. Echo beeped. Got everything. But bad news. What now? They've detected us. Run for your life, Red. Lights flashed. Sirens screamed. Guards rushed into the hall. Aaron and Echo ran through the dark tunnels, chased by alien soldiers. Left. No, right? Echo shouted. They reached the reactor room, the heart of the station. Aaron pulled out his tools. We can overload it. Just give me time. I'll cover you, Echo said, flying to distract the guards. Aaron worked fast, cutting wires, rerouting power. His hands moved like lightning. The guards closed in. Echo zapped a few with his small shock blaster, but there were too many. Then finally done, Aaron shouted. We have 3 minutes before. Boom. Ran back to the scout ship. Laser fire chased them the whole way. The ship launched just as the station exploded behind them. The hero returns back on Zorath. Queen Virea waited at the palace gates. She stared at the sky for hours, then appeared. The scout ship landed. Safely, Aaron stepped out, tired and bruised, but alive. Echo floated beside him, sparking slightly. You made it, Vera, whispered, rushing to him. Aaron smiled. I keep my promises. They went inside and shared the evidence with the council. The hidden rebellion was exposed. Their leaders were arrested. The war fleet was destroyed. Peace was saved again because one human refused to give up. A moment of truth that evening. Vera and Aaron stood in the same garden where she had once revealed the truth of their past. The stars shone brightly above them. You saved my life 3 times now, Vera said quietly. Aaron laughed. Who's counting? She turned toward him. You could return to Earth now? Be a hero? A legend? He looked at her. I could, but I don't want to. She blinked. Why not? Because my place is here, with you. Rhea smiled softly. She took his hand. Then stay not as a visitor, not just as an advisor, but as someone who has always been in my heart. Aaron looked at her glowing eyes and knew this was no longer just about peace between 2 worlds. This was something deeper, stronger. The days after the failed rebellion were calm. The silence carried a heavy weight. The Zorith people had seen warships, lies, and betrayal return to their peaceful world. But they had also seen something new, a human who risked everything to protect them. That image stayed in their minds. Aaron Cole didn't act like a hero. He still wore his dusty jacket. He still carried a tool belt. He still fixed broken lights and cracked shields with his own hands. But everyone looked at him differently now. Whispers followed him wherever he walked. That's him, the Queen's protector. The human who saved us. The boy from her past. He had become a legend. But Aaron didn't care about legends. His mind was somewhere else. A question in her eyes that evening. Queen Varaya asked Aaron to walk with her through the palace sky garden. Floating stones moved gently beneath their feet, and glowing trees lit the path. They didn't talk at first. They just walked side by side under the stars. The silence was warm, not awkward. Finally, Vera spoke. My council has suggested I offer Earth a new treaty, one based not on fear but on true trust. Aaron nodded. That's a good idea. They've seen the truth now. Both sides have? She looked at him. And what will you do? Will you help write the treaty or ... return to your world? Paused. I've been thinking about that. Vera looked into his eyes. What have you decided? A choice of the heart. Aaron took a breath. I came here as a stranger. But now, I feel like I found something I didn't even know I was missing. She waited. I want to stay. Not because I'm a hero, not because I saved anyone, but because ... when I'm here with you, it feels right. Her eyes softened. You could live here forever? In a world that's not your own? Aaron smiled. This world became mine the day you remembered who I was. She stepped closer. Then stay not as a guest, not as an outsider, but as something more. Aaron gently took her hand. I'm not going anywhere. The coronation of peace 1 week later, the largest celebration in Zorith history began. Aliens from across the empire came to the capital. Skyships flew in formation. Lights filled the air. Music echoed across the stars. In the palace courtyard, Queen Vera stood on a tall platform. She wore a new crown, one shaped not just in the Zorith style, but with symbols from Earth carved into the crystal. It was a symbol of unity. She raised her hand, and the crowd became quiet. Today, she said, we celebrate not just peace, but understanding, trust, and love between worlds. She turned to Aaron, who stood beside her in formal Zorith robes. This man is no longer just a visitor. He's no longer just my childhood hero. He is now part of our story, our future. The crowd cheered. Varia continued. Let this day be remembered. Let all children of Earth and Zorith know that peace is possible, and it begins with one act of kindness. She looked at Aaron. Her voice dropped, like the kindness of a boy who gave a frightened girl food and warmth in the middle of war. Tears filled many eyes in the crowd, some from Earth, some from Zorith, all moved by the same truth. A new life begins that night. Aaron sat with Echo on the palace balcony, watching the stars. You've come a long way, Echo said. Aaron smiled. We both have. Echo hovered close. You do know you're probably the only human to ever be given royal status on an alien world. Aaron leaned back. Weird, right? Unbelievable, Echo said. But then again, you always had a thing for doing the impossible. Aaron didn't answer right away. Then he whispered, I just did what I felt was right. From behind, soft footsteps approached. Vera joined him, sitting beside him on the bench. You're quiet, she said, just thinking about Earth, about you. She smiled. Good answer. 2 worlds, 1 future months passed. The new treaty between Earth and Zorith was signed peacefully. Trade began. Scientists from both sides worked together. Art, music, and culture crossed borders never touched before and always. Standing at the center of it all were 2 people. The alien queen who believed peace was stronger than fear. The human engineer who had once shared food with a lost little girl. Aaron became an official advisor to the queen, but more than that, he became a symbol. Not a king, not a prince, but something even more rare, a bridge. The story lives on many years later. Children on both Earth and Zorith would learn. The story, they would hear about the human boy and the alien girl, about the war that almost tore them apart and the courage that brought them back together. They would read it in books, watch it in holograms, and whisper it to each other during starry nights. Some called it a fairy tale. Only Queen Viraya and Aaron Cole knew the truth. It began with a moment of kindness. It ended with a moment of recognition, and everything in between was love.